So one of the most asked questions that I get whenever I go speak to college students is, how did I become an event planner? And it's kind of a funny story because I always say that I did not choose event planning, that it very much chose me. So I graduated in 2008 from Wingate University, number one, and I was really feeling myself until I realized that I had no idea what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So me and my friend, we decided that we were just going to move to Myrtle Beach for the summer. No big deal, just going to go down there, just, feel it out, see if we liked it. And so we moved down and had no job. So I called another friend that I had down there and said, hey, I got no job, but I'm coming to Myrtle Beach for the summer. Can you help me out? He was like, yes, absolutely. Go to the bagel factory on 21st Avenue, tell Ruben that Pat sent you, and he'll give you a job. And I was like, okay, done. So that's exactly what I did. I went to the bagel factory. I started working there and loved it. Thought it was such a fun job. I mean, we could work in the morning and then go to the beach in the afternoon. It was amazing. But I did that all summer, and we got to the end of the summer, and my roommate came to me and was like, hey girl, this condo we're living in, it's my Nana's, and she wants us to move out. And I was like, all right, cool, that's no problem. She went, by Friday. So I was like, okay, well, I have nowhere else to live, so I guess I will just move home. And she was like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So went into the bagel factory, said I got one more week left, and packed up everything that I owned in my car, worked out my week at the bagel factory. And on Friday, my very last day, I was standing there working the desk, and this lady came in, and she just looked disheveled. I mean, just distraught. She comes in and she sits down or stands at the table, and she goes, oh, I have this event planning company, and I need an event planner. And I was like, well, I could do that. I could be an event planner. So I was like, if you need somebody, I'd be happy to come in and do it. And she was like, okay, yeah, great. What time do you get off on Mondays? And I was like, I get off at noon. And she goes, okay, perfect. Work here 6 to noon, come around the corner. I'm just right here. We'll work you from, noon to 6. So I was like, yes, absolutely. That's exactly what I'll do. And so she walked away. I was feeling like on top of the world, and then realized I had nowhere to live. So I did what my friend Ashlyn says. I went on tour, and I took everything that I owned that was in my car, and I started couch surfing with all of my friends and on their couches to have somewhere to live while I started this new job, this event planning company. I mean, I was literally packed up, ready to go home that day. So I started in the company, and I worked from 6 to noon at Bagel Factory, noon to 6 with this third-party planning company. And we did everything from weddings to festivals to corporate events. I mean, we really did a little bit of everything, but predominantly we did weddings. I learned very quickly that weddings were not my jam. I didn't love that side so much of it being, the most important day of a bride's life. And so it wasn't very long that I was like, you know what, maybe event planning is not for me. I think I'm going to look for something else. So I decided to switch industries altogether, and I went to work for one of our area attractions, and still got to do a little bit there, but ultimately realized that after a couple years that the job itself was just not fulfilling, that there was just something about the job that just didn't bring joy to my soul. So I decided that I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to start looking around again and just kind of see if I can find anything else in the event planning industry. So I landed on this opportunity at our Sheraton Myrtle Beach Convention Center. And I went and I interviewed for it, and it was me and one other person who apparently had 10 years of experience. And I just remember the general manager asking me, why should we hire you? And I said, well, you know what? You can teach anyone how to do a job, but you cannot teach anyone how to have my personality. And I must have came off with a really great personality because she hired me, and I had this opportunity to work in this corporate association world at the convention center that really we did everything from, just smaller meetings to multi-day large meetings with trade shows, with the exhibit hall. We did military balls. I mean, we did all kinds of corporate/association style meetings, barely any weddings. There's hardly any weddings that came to that space. And I just realized after this couple years that I was like, this is for me. This event planning is for me. I loved it. Corporate association was where I needed to be, and that is how I became an event planner.